There are two levels that we are operating on. There's the physical level, what you see, what you hear, and all of that good stuff. And then there's the spiritual level, the things that you don't see, the things that some of you struggle to believe in, the things that you question, the things that you feel, right? Sometimes you feel these vibrations, you get these weird feelings out of nowhere, and you really don't know what that is. Well, that is your gift igniting everywhere you go. One has limitations, the other does not. The physical realm or physical level, limitations. The spiritual level, no limitations. Going back to the previous episode where I mentioned that the word can't does not exist in the spirit. I do not have any regrets. I've mentioned this before in previous episodes. If I was to live my life all over again up to this point, I would not change anything. There are no regrets. Now, of course, I've imagined a parallel. For example, if I would have decided to join the Air Force in 1994, how different would my life have been? And it's interesting to look at some of these things sometimes. But it's easy to do that when you don't know what's coming around the corner. Unless you have an extreme connection to the point to where you can see things before they happen, because some of you do, most do not, then you really don't know what's coming around the corner. And it's easy to get, for lack of a better expression, lost in the sauce of life. Because right now, life has been tremendously challenging on all fronts. This is a very, very challenging time. Are we in dark times? You could argue that. However, there's always light. And the key is to remember that we're operating on two levels. The reason why many people are frustrated is because they are only operating on the physical level. And when you operate only on the physical level, you experience all the limitations of it. And these limitations impact you quite heavily. It's frustrating because you cannot interpret things, you're disconnected. There is nothing of this world that can give you fulfillment above and beyond what it is. It just is what it is. It's physical. There's a beginning and an end. There are restrictions to how it operates. There's all these things that create the stresses. And these stresses pile up, especially within our current paradigm. Here in the States, it's more emphatic. We are in a paradigm that suggests that in order for you to function with the bare minimum, there's a long checklist of things that you must acquire just to get the bare minimum. This checklist is quite long, just to live, just for food, just all the basics. The haves and the have-nots is becoming the true definition of this nation, unfortunately. And so that's what the current paradigm suggests, right? Which creates a lot of stress for those who do not have those things. But then it continues, because even those who do have those things, what do they run into? They're not fulfilled. Even though they have, they're still not fulfilled. It's almost like a never-ending chase. So for those who struggle to get those things, it's stressful. And then for those who already have those things, it's never enough. So that's what happens when you rely on the physical realm only. But with the spiritual level, none of this stuff applies. None of this stuff really means anything. There are no walls. All of the things of the world are not. No limitations. I kind of like that better. And when you connect to a source, an ultimate source, the Most High, whatever name you wish to give it, when you remain in alignment with that, you are connecting to something that has no limits, which means you have more clarity, you have more understanding, all of your gifts are heightened. You move through the human experience with ease. The obstacles are there, but they don't necessarily create the weight that you would otherwise have without being in alignment. The beautiful thing about understanding the macro level is understanding that there is a larger picture to be formed. And in this larger picture, there's sort of an invisible hand guiding these pieces. And you are a part of these pieces that are being guided. That's essentially what describes all of this. No regrets. No regrets. You think about the choices that you've made. Some choices are good choices, some choices are bad choices. But everything connects, because if you were to play the game, connect the dots of every single thing that has ever happened to you, then you would have good moments connected to bad moments connected to good moments. And this would just be a continuous line connecting to all these different dots, situations, incidents, people, places. It all connects to this very moment right here, right now, you listening to me speak. So if your life does not happen exactly as it has happened up to this very point, you would not be listening to this right now. And this may be the very thing that sets you on a new course, and you will be able to course correct. So that's why I say that I have no regrets, because everything connects, good and bad. And so it's a challenge to remember this. It's a challenge to see the good that can occur. I usually tell my friends that I stay neutral. I stay right there in the middle, not too high, not too low. Because when good things happen, it'll be a big surprise. And then when not so good things happen, I won't be completely deflated by it. So I stay in the middle. Understanding that there's a physical level and a spiritual level at work coexisting. This is the reason why you get the vibrations and the feelings, the deja vus, the dreams, all of these things that you really don't have an explanation for. That is the proof that there is another side of your experience that is at work. To regret is to not see. To move forward is to grow. The key is to remember. 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 In real time, remember. Remember. For me, God is in me. God has been with me since the day that I was born. I understand this. I move through my life. I walk the talk. I talk the walk. I move through this life understanding this. And this is not to beat it upside your head. I do not impose any of this on people. All I do is exist with this understanding and watch it work. Remember. Remember, you are more than you think you are. The human experience has the highs and the lows, but through it all, you will find the strength within.